People often think that to live freely, one must own a solid piece of land. But what if the house itself could become the infrastructure that supports you? When energy, water, and microclimate are all managed within the walls, dependence starts to fade, and the very idea of needing pipes or power lines begins to feel outdated. From a wall that breathes, insulates, and stores, to a closet that dries clothes overnight, to a skylight that brings in sunlight while generating electricity, each little detail redefines self-sufficiency in a practical way. And if all of these are combined by Tesla into one complete interior system inside the 2026 Tesla tiny house, where every line serves the goal of living anywhere without relying on anyone, then free land is no longer a far-off dream, but a plan already taking shape. Subscribe to Tesla Byte Hub to help us reach 100 subscribers and turn on notifications so you do not miss the next part of this story. One feature quietly reduces mold and odors while saving space. Inside the Tesla tiny house, the adaptive wall is a two-layer structure with a hidden air cavity running from floor to ceiling. The inner layer uses moisture-resistant engineered wood or composite panels, while the back layer has an active insulation membrane with temperature and humidity sensors. The cavity is about 2 to 3 centimeters deep and allows slow air circulation. A vertical light-emitting diode strip adjusts color temperature from 2,700 Kelvin at night to 4,000 to 5,000 Kelvin during the day to support a natural circadian rhythm. The smooth surface also hides 7 to 10 centimeters deep storage compartments, helping the 20 square meter Tesla tiny house stay organized and visually calm. When the space heats up or humidity rises from sunlight or cooking, sensors activate a fan that moves 40 to 80 cubic meters of air per hour. Airspeed in the cavity stays around 0.2 to 0.4 meters per second, avoiding drafts. The wall materials absorb and release heat and moisture gradually, keeping comfort stable. As a result, room temperature peaks drop by about 1.5 to 2.5 degrees Celsius, while relative humidity stays around 45 to 55%. The system runs quietly, aiming for under 28 decibels at a distance of 1 meter, preserving the calm environment of the Tesla tiny house. In practical terms, this microclimate control reduces cooling needs. For an 18 to 22 square meter room, lowering peak temperature by roughly 2 degrees Celsius and keeping humidity steady can shorten the run time of a 500 to 900 watt mini air conditioner by 2 to 4 hours per day. That equals about 1 to 3 kilowatt hours saved daily, while the wall system itself uses only 8 to 20 watts, around 0.16 kilowatt hours for 8 hours of operation. In other words, the adaptive wall pays for its own energy use many times over, especially when paired with the Skylight solar generation. Designed for remote installation, the system runs on 48 volts direct current from a home battery pack and needs no thick walls or ducting. With about 5 hours of usable sunlight per day, a 150 to 200 watt solar panel can power the fans, sensors, and light-emitting diodes. This makes the adaptive wall practical for desert, forest, or hillside setups, aligning perfectly with the Tesla tiny house off-grid philosophy. Health benefits are an added bonus. Keeping humidity around 50% helps prevent mold and wood decay, while a thin layer of activated carbon absorbs odors. The soft wall lighting removes harsh shadows, making the compact 20 square meter space feel bigger and cleaner. Even without knowing the technology, anyone entering the Tesla tiny house will immediately notice fresh air, gentle light, and a dry, comfortable atmosphere, which matters most in the adaptive wall. A lower energy use, B. Steadier temperature and humidity, C. Cleaner air and less odor. Reply with A, B, or C, and explain why. 2. Which part of this tiny house makes clothes feel fresher without adding heat? Inside the Tesla tiny house, the Aero closet stack appears as a 40 to 45 centimeters deep wall-integrated wardrobe with a shad outline finish for a clean, minimalist look. Hidden behind the door is a vertical airflow duct running from bottom to top. Air travels upward through 3 stages: fine dust filtration, activated carbon deodorization, and dehumidification via a replaceable cassette. Once processed, The dry and clean air passes through the hanging space before exiting at the top vent. All technical parts are hidden, keeping the front sleek and seamless. True to the Tesla interior design, daily use is effortless. A small fan, similar in power to a household light bulb, circulates air quietly every few minutes. Noise levels remain under 25 decibels at 1 meter, barely noticeable during sleep. The dehumidifier cassette holds 1 to 2 kilograms of silica gel or zeolite and absorbs 200 to 600 grams of moisture per cycle. That is enough to dry laundry for 1 or 2 people overnight. When the door closes, an ultraviolet lamp runs for 5 minutes to sterilize fabrics, automatically shutting off for safety once the door locks. Performance-wise, thin clothes dry in 3 to 4 hours, while thicker fabrics or jackets need 6 to 7 hours. Users simply hang garments before bed and retrieve them dry and odor-free by morning. A hidden condensation tray at the bottom directs water into a small evaporative pan, removing the need for drainage pipes. Because it requires no vents or ducts, the Aero closet stack can be installed anywhere in the Tesla tiny house without changing the layout. In terms of energy, a traditional tumble dryer uses 1 to 2 kilowatt-hours per cycle. The Aero closet stack, running 8 hours at 8 to 15 watts, uses only 0.06 to 0.12 kilowatt-hours, roughly 20 times less. With 5 hours of effective sunlight, a single 150 to 200 watt solar panel can power its fan, sensors, and ultraviolet lamp. This efficiency perfectly matches the Tesla tiny house energy-saving philosophy and allows off-grid operation, reinforcing the free land lifestyle. 3. How can the Tesla tiny house keep a comfy bed and still feel spacious? The Tesla tiny house sleeping area uses a ceiling-mounted loft capsule that raises and lowers to save valuable floor space. The lightweight alloy frame supports 250 to 300 kilograms with a 10 to 12 centimeter mattress designed for ceilings 2.4 to 2.6 meters high. Each lift cycle takes 10 to 15 seconds with peak motor power between 120 to 180 watts and daily consumption below 0.05 kilowatt-hours since the motor runs only briefly. Noise remains under 30 decibels at 1 meter, keeping nighttime comfort. The capsule includes ambient lighting and air quality control. Its arch light shifts from 2,700 Kelvin at night to 4,000 Kelvin in the morning, providing 100 to 150 lux for reading. Carbon dioxide and humidity sensors control a built-in fan moving 30 to 60 cubic meters per hour, keeping carbon dioxide under 1,000 parts per million and humidity between 45 and 55%. Gentle airflow of 0.1 to 0.2 meters per second ensures comfort without drafts. A small skylight with a reflective shade achieves a U value of about 1.6 watts per square meter Kelvin, allowing daylight while minimizing heat loss. When the 140 by 200 centimeter bed is lifted, it frees about 2.8 meters of floor area, roughly 14% of the 20 square meter living space. This reclaimed space serves as a workspace, dining area, or exercise zone. The transformable layout gives the Tesla tiny house the feel of a two-level interior, open and social by day, private and quiet by night. The energy benefit is clear too, because the bed retracts into an insulated ceiling pocket, daytime air volume that needs cooling drops 8 to 12%. Combined with localized ventilation, the temperature set point can rise 0.5 to 1 degree Celsius while staying comfortable. This saves roughly 0.3 to 0.8 kilowatt-hours per summer day, much more than the lifting motor uses. Working with the adaptive wall and the Aero closet stack, the Loft capsule keeps humidity stable and air fresh, maximizing comfort and efficiency. 4. Will a tiny house give you natural light or only artificial lighting? To bring daylight and generate power at the same time, the Tesla tiny house has the Skylight Power Bay, a semi-transparent photovoltaic skylight. Its glass lets 30 to 50% of sunlight pass, while solar cells operate at 12 to 18% efficiency. With a surface area of about 1.2 to 1.5 meters, it produces 120 to 220 watts at noon, enough to power interior LEDs, Charge a 150 to 300 watt-hour buffer battery, and run low-speed ventilation fans. Daylight entering through the skylight is diffused via a short reflective tube and LED ring around its frame. This maintains brightness of 250 to 400 lux at desk level in sunny weather, and at least 150 lux on cloudy days. During rain or low light, the ring simulates sunlight using 4,000 to 5,000 Kelvin during the day and 2,700 to 3,000 Kelvin at night to support a natural rhythm. The glass is dual pane with a U value of 1.4 to 1.8 watts per square meter Kelvin and a solar heat gain coefficient of 0.35 to 0.45. Coated with low emissivity film, a hidden honeycomb shade reflects heat in summer and traps warmth in winter. Under intense sun, lowering the shade and increasing roof airflow reduces ceiling temperature by about 2 to 3 degrees Celsius, cutting air conditioning load. With 5 hours of good sunlight daily, the Skylight generates 0.6 to 1 kilowatt-hour, enough to charge the buffer battery multiple times and power lighting for 8 to 12 hours. LED consumption ranges from 6 to 12 watts for ambient light to 15 to 25 watts for reading brightness. This self-sufficiency lets the Tesla tiny house maintain lighting and ventilation even off the grid, matching the free land philosophy. Installation and maintenance are simple. The aluminum frame uses double gaskets for waterproofing. Rain drains through built-in channels, and glass edges are sealed with neutral silicone. Roof fan filters are washable every 3 to 6 months. LEDs last 30,000 to 50,000 hours, and the photovoltaic glass keeps over 80% output for 20 to 25 years. All parts are serviceable from inside, so Tesla tiny house owners can maintain them easily without climbing onto the roof. 5. Can this tiny house switch layouts, or is it one purpose? The Tesla tiny house moving backbone is a hidden rail system running along ceilings and walls, covered by slim 12 to 18 millimeter panels. Rails are lightweight aluminum. Sealed ball bearing sliders glide smoothly with friction under 0.05. Each slider supports 25 to 40 kilograms. Paired sliders carry 60 to 80 kilograms for heavier modules, like fold-out tables or mini kitchens. Daily use feels smooth and intuitive. Modules such as shelves, privacy curtains, acoustic panels, fold-out desks, 60 by 120 centimeters, or kitchen frames attached to 2 to 4 sliders, with standard mounts. Wall rails span about 2.4 to 3 meters. Ceiling rails 2 to 2.4 meters. Rearranging a module takes 10 to 20 seconds. Morning workspaces can become dining areas by noon and sleeping zones by night, all without tools. Space efficiency is measurable. A folded 60 by 120 centimeter table takes just 0.07 square meters when stowed. In use, it extends to 1.2 to 1.5 meters, but pushing it back restores 1 to 1.4 square meters of floor area. Combined with the Loft capsule, 70 to 75% of the Tesla tiny house floor space stays clear most of the day. Better airflow and light make the 20 square meter room feel larger. Durability and safety are solid. Each slider is rated for 30,000 to 50,000 cycles, equal to 8 to 10 years at 6 to 10 layout changes per day. Dual locking pins prevent unwanted movement. Rail covers detach for cleaning every few months. Bolts anchor into ceiling ribs or wall studs with safety factor of 2.5, supporting hanging kitchen modules up to 25 kilograms or shelves up to 30 kilograms. Mechanical rails use no electricity when moving. Only small accessories like LED strips or sockets draw power from the interior bus. Fewer fixed pieces reduce maintenance and visual clutter. A single worktop can double as a dining table, and an acoustic curtain can become a privacy divider. The Tesla tiny house remains flexible, quiet, and energy efficient. A 20 square meter living space supports 5 different functions daily and adapts to weather, routine, or mood without feeling tight. What stays with you after all the numbers and mechanisms is how naturally the Tesla tiny house turns light, air, and space into a calm routine. Daylight enters through the roof and quietly powers what you need. Walls keep heat and humidity steady while hiding clutter. Clothes dry while you sleep. The bed lifts to free the floor. Rails let the room shift from work to dinner to rest without effort. It feels less like a gadget and more like a home that supports real freedom on real ground. If this vision speaks to you, subscribe to Tesla Byte Hub and turn on notifications for more in-depth analysis.